Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Two Geeks, Two Furious podcast. I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
Caleb, you know that I deliver pizzas.
Yes.
For Pizza
Hut, yes.
Yeah, it's a Pizza Hut. Well, it's not always fun and games, like you might imagine. Sometimes, some real douchebags order pizza.
Right.
Yeah. So, just ahead of time, just in case someone listens to this who doesn't like me telling stories about work, not my boss. It'd be my boss's boss.
We have a message for you. Fuck off.
He's pretty cool. But just in case this gets passed around to people, these things may or may not have happened. They have. But I might be making them up. I'm not.
So
and
shove it.
They may be exaggerated. They aren't. But they might be.
But they're not.
So, Caleb, this might seem obvious, but I've got to explain to you how things are supposed to work.
Okay.
Someone orders a pizza. It comes out of the oven. I take it to them.
Naturally.
I knock on the door or ring the doorbell. They come, give me the money, and we go on our merry way. Right?
Right.
That's how it's supposed to go. Right? You order pizza, right? And you're like, pizza, that takes 30 fucking minutes to get to my house.
Right.
I should probably be down there in 30 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it shouldn't be some sort of surprise. Well, they don't always do that, Caleb.
All right.
So the other day, about halfway through my shift, I take an order to this neighborhood down the street from work. And I go up there to the door, knock on the doorbell. Nothing.
Knock on the
doorbell. Knock on the door. The wooden part.
Yeah.
I knock on the door. I ring the door and knock on the doorbell. Anyway, so I knock on the door. Nothing. I ring the doorbell. Nothing. I knock on the door. Nothing. Ring the doorbell one more time. Nothing. And then, so, call. Nothing. Go back. My boss calls. Nothing. Now, it wouldn't be that big of a deal other than being a complete waste of my time.
This asshole gave you a call, didn't he?
No. The next person. This happened 2 times in a row. But this one's worse. So, to give you a little background on this person. Sometimes they tip the drivers. Sometimes they don't.
Is it a frequent customer we're talking about?
Yes. Once, maybe twice a week.
Okay.
So they call in the order, and first of all, they keep changing their mind on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Adam answered it, and it took him twice as long as it should have to take an order because they kept changing their mind about what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, they ordered, I think it was last week. Well, this happened last week. The week before last week, they ordered. This kid Justin took it, and
but they all like, this isn't what I ordered.
When he got back, they called, and they said, "We got this stuffed crust," and he said he'd spray the garlic spray on it, but there's none on here. And we're like,
oh, that's fine. We'll just drive right back over.
We have no way of. We didn't do anything because they've done this shit before.
Shit happened.
So we didn't do it. So then they call back and they're like, and the bottom's burnt. We don't do anything because we know they're full of shit because they do this all the time. And then they call again and they say, one of these wings doesn't have sauce on it.
One of the wings?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which I saw them sauced. They all had sauce on them. And even if they didn't, when you pour them into the little basket, there's a whole bunch of sauce on the bottom there that you can just dip it in.
So what, they're like just trying fucking anything to get like free food?
To get free
their
stuff.
Money back? Or?
Yes. So they come up a few days ago on the screen, and I have to take the order. So I drive. We don't have a big delivery area, but this is on the very edge of it. So it's the farthest you can go in the top right area.
Before you just fall off face the earth.
Yeah. So I go all the way over there. And I pull up. And just to give you a sort of idea of the environment that these people live in, it's a fairly decent-sized house. And it's always dark on the inside. Like, broad daylight, it's still freaking dark somehow. Like, they always have, like, the blinds almost closed. And then...
vampires, Zach.
Yeah, and then so you go around and their freaking bushes are slightly overgrown and they look like shit. And then you go and they've just got like their fence next to the house where like I guess where the gate should be is just like destroyed. There's like a few of the actual planks of wood there.
That's pretty creepy.
Yeah, so I go up there and I knock pretty hard. I always knock first because there's some people who have like... There's a lot of families that have little kids. And I don't want to wake them up. So I knock first. Nothing. Ring the doorbell. Nothing. Knock again.
Let me guess.
Nothing. Ring the doorbell one more time. Nothing. And I started to recognize these people from previous incidents. And I remember this kid Cooper at work had an incident with him a couple weeks ago as well. So not just Justin did, Cooper did as well. Where, no, Cooper was the time they had the wing. With Justin, it was just the crust and the underside being burnt, allegedly. So we go, and so Cooper goes and takes them one, and then he has to call them to get them to come down. And after that, when they kept complaining about the one wing to rule them all,
Oh my God.
according to these people, like the whole world's going to end. Anyway, so they call about that. They start texting him, asking when they're going to bring this stuff out for him. Like, and they start like swearing in the texts and doing it in all caps and shit.
Oh man, they went all caps?
They went all caps, Caleb.
What shitheads.
They mean business, and they're clearly not right in the head.
Clearly.
So I didn't want to call them because I know that they didn't have my number and they would try, which was a good decision here in the future. You'll see why. So I go out in my car and I start thinking maybe I should call them. And I'm like, no, I'll just sit out here for a few minutes and then try again. Maybe they're trying to see if I'll come back, and then they can claim that that it wasn't delivered or something. So I go back after a few minutes of sitting in my car and knock and ring the doorbell. Nothing. There's not even a sign of anybody being home.
Probably like in there, like hiding in the closet or something. It's like, he's gonna go away soon. Don't worry, we're gonna get the free pizza.
Yeah, so I go back.
Wait for him to go.
I go back to the store. And I'm like, I'm not calling him because Cooper did that last week and they wouldn't leave him the hell alone. So he calls them and they say,
we never got it.
We didn't get it. Nobody came here. We've been waiting for it. Blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, and then we keep having problems like this. And so Justin calls him. And he talks to him because he's talked to him before. And they're trying to get it for free now. Because I didn't show up. So he's talking to him and he's flat out says, he's like, look, you people do this all the time. We're catching on to it. You're not getting anything for free. And so they're kids too.
They are? Oh.
Yeah. So it's not like it's some adult. No, they're freaking kids. So he's like, okay, we'll send it back out to you. And here's where it gets good, Caleb.
You gonna make him pay?
I didn't really want to take it back out there, but I kind of had to. So I drive all the way out there again. And
you guys had a showdown.
So I go up to the door, and you got the little window next to the door? Mm-hmm. I can see them right there. So I slam on the freaking door. Because they're right there, and I wanted them to know that I was pissed off about having to be there again. Yeah. And she was either a really ugly Asian girl or a really ugly white girl.
Either way, she was really ugly.
Yeah, because, like, I couldn't tell... Well, I don't know if I'd say ugly, weird looking. Mm-hmm. not necessarily ugly. She's very weird looking Asian, because her eyes and her skin, like her eyes looked almost Asian, but her skin was kind of pale.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what she was. She's kind of grumpy looking. She answers and she's like, "Oh, he'll be here in a minute." And then this black kid. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying so you can picture in your mind what I'm seeing.
It's not racist. It is a fact of his biology. He was a black person.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what it was. He was there. So he comes up, and oh my god, the stupid grin on his face. He kind of just like swaggers over.
Like, oh yeah, I fucking want to.
And I look,
free shit.
I look up into his eyes. His eyes are glazed like a fucking Krispy Kreme. Kid's high as a kite. And I'm like, well, he came to the door. And he's like, yeah. And I'm not lying about this. This is what he said. He proceeded to tell me a story about what happened. He's like, yeah, I ordered that pizza, man. And he... I'm not going to talk like him, but here, I'm going to do it for a second so you understand what it was like. So he's dead serious. He's like, I ordered this pizza like 30 minutes ago, man. And then I went outside. I was going to go outside for a cigarette. And so he keeps laughing. Anyway, he's like, I went outside. I was going to go outside for a cigarette. So I came down here into the back. I was going to go out there. But then I was like, nah, man, I don't want to go out there. I'll go out here. So I came out here and I sat right here next to the door. And he's like, and then it's just like, nobody came here. And then that dumb bitch that I've never seen before. It's always the black kid or his mom. Mm-hmm. He's not really a young kid.
Right.
He's maybe like 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd say. Anyway, he's like... So she chimes in. And she's like, yeah, nobody came. And he's like, yeah, man, and we've got 2 other people out here. He's like, somebody would have heard you, and we got it's not even that loud up here. And then like the doors open. It's not that loud. We got 2 people up there besides us. Blah 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 blah. And he's like, nobody came here.
We got 2 other people up there who are high out of their goddamn minds.
And I was like, do you know what time it was supposed to be here? And he's like, nah. And I was like, well, look, I've got this receipt right here, and it says delivery time. It should be delivered at, what was it? 2:49.
Right.
I was like, I got here, personally, I arrived here and knocked on the door at, what was it I said, 2:49?
2:49.
2:49. 2:46 is the time I got there. Mm-hmm. So I was 3 minutes early.
Right.
And I said, I knocked. Nobody answered. I rang the doorbell. Nobody answered. I went back to my car for a few minutes, and I came back and did the same thing. Nobody came down here. I was like, I was here for 6 minutes before I left. And this is where I started to get pissed off. Motherfucker tells me to my face
that you're full of shit.
That I was not where I was 20 minutes ago.
Like, how can you fucking tell me? Like, I came here to this house. How can you tell me I didn't?
It's like, I was there. It's like, I don't know where, if I wasn't, like, did I break through the space-time continuum?
It's like I said, you fell off the earth.
Into another...
You were in another dimension.
Another dimension where they weren't at home?
That's right.
So, I couldn't close my mouth. I was just like, And then he goes, and then, I don't want to pay for this, man. And he's like,
and you're like, well, I don't give a shit, man.
And I was like, well, I can't give it to you. And he's like, well, I don't want to pay for it, but I'm going to. I have the money right here. And he's like, but I need to tell you something that happened last week. He's like, there's one guy, he brought my food out, and he said on the phone that he was going to spray the garlic stuff on the stuffed crust, And they usually don't do that, but he said they do that for me. Guess what, Caleb? We do it on every single one of them.
Every freaking pizza?
Yes. And I don't remember the last time I saw somebody not do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, so I'm like, okay. And he's like, I took a picture of it, man. And I was going to show it to the kid, but he wouldn't come back out here. And I was like,
Did you ask for the picture?
And he's like, you want to see the picture?
Oh, okay.
He's like, I got the picture. Nobody came here, by the way. Nobody came here. He's like, I was out here. He starts telling me the story again. The same exact story. And, like, I don't know how he didn't see in my face that I didn't care.
That's probably why he told you again.
Oh, my God. So, he does that, and he's like, you want to see the picture? I was like, no, I want to see the money. He's like, what? I was like, that'll be, I think it was like $23 and something. No, it was $15.18.
$15.18.
No, $18.15. That's how much it was. I was like, that'll be $18.15. And he's like, well, I got the picture. You sure you don't want to see it? And I'm like, pretty sure. And so he starts to tell me the story again. And he gave me the money at this point, and I gave him the food. My job's done.
You should just walk away and tell this fucking story.
I walked away, got in my car. So mad. So mad.
You heard from this guy since then?
He told me I didn't go to his house. I went to his goddamn house. So, I go back to work.
Right.
To find out. He called again.
While you were driving
to the
back
store.
To work? Yeah.
Saying that
we still don't have it. He didn't show up.
He was one wing short.
Oh my God.
And he needed another order sent out there. For one wing.
Tell you what, this guy...
And guess what? I saw Adam do it. We were out of the pre-bagged ones. Mm-hmm. So he had to count individually 14 wings. There were 14 wings. I saw the man do it.
What a fuck.
So Justin had answered the phone. And Justin's had it with these people. Mm-hmm. And he was like, look, man, we can't... You had enough. There's something... You keep calling until you get something for free. Even... You'll be like, there's something wrong with the crust. And we'll be like, there's nothing wrong with the crust, man. We can't send anybody else out there. We're busy. So you'll call back and say that this time, 5 minutes has passed, and now there's something wrong with the wings. He's like, we had our driver show up twice, and still you won't leave us alone. And at this point, Adam had I brought the receipt back with the address on it. He put it up on the board, and he was like, look, man, he wrote on it, do not deliver. And he's like, look, we're not delivering to these people no matter what. And so he's like, we're not delivering to you guys anymore. And he's like, what? And he's like, there's not enough wings. He's like, you sure you didn't eat one? You probably forgot.
You probably forgot because you're so fucking high.
Yeah. And he's like, look, I'm not saying anything. There's nothing else to discuss. We're not delivering to you guys under any circumstances. Sorry.
It's like, what are the chances that, we are perfectly adequate pizza makers to everyone else we deliver, but every time we deliver to you, we're missing wings, we're burning the pizzas, we're not spraying the garlic shit, We're just a mess.
And from the way it sounded like you were just like, oh, all right.
Well,
that was it.
Let's try Domino's, see if we can con them out of some pizza.
Yeah, I deliver to them quite a bit when I open, so hopefully, I want to be the one to tell them we don't deliver next time they call. And then, right after that, Caleb, this lady who moves from store to store after they catch on to her, came in complaining, saying that 3 days before, she had ordered a pizza, and the pizza wasn't wrong, and there was hair in it.
Pizza wasn't right.
Yeah. And then she brought it in. Like a 2 or 3 day old pizza.
Oh my, why?
And she always uses different names and different
aliases.
Different phone numbers.
Oh, this chick is for real.
Taking advantage. So she does this store. We don't deal with her shit anymore either. But so we looked for the hair. No, she said the sauce was sour.
Okay.
You know how many orders we had that night?
How many?
We were busy. We had a lot of orders. You know how many people complained about the sauce tasting bad?
That's true.
No one. I personally ate a pizza with the sauce on it. Sauce was fine that night. She's making it up. The sauce was friggin' fresh. We had just made it.
It was fresh to death.
So, yeah, and we find the hair. It's like an eyelash.
Mm-hmm. Probably fucking hers.
Under one of the slices of pizza. It wasn't on the pizza, which means she put it there.
I don't see the connection there, but...
Because when you cut the pizza,
Could have been one of
it'd be
y'all.
falling on the pizza.
Could have gotten in the box beforehand.
I don't know. That's a stretch. It makes more sense for a hair to get on the
Yeah.
thing than... No, because when we put the... Your face isn't over it when you put the thing in, because you're standing on the left side of the table, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You cut the pizza, you lift it up on the pizza paddle, and then you go to the right of your body to put it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So your face is several feet away from this box.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go with it.
But yeah, so
He's a bitch, I get it.
that's the first edition of what I'm going to call Tales of the Hut. So now every time something fucked up happens at work, we'll be like, now we got a tale from the hut. Because there's some strange people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe that, though? Told me to my face. I didn't go to that kid's house.
That's amazing.
Like, was I supposed to believe him?
What a shithead.
And I don't even know if he believed himself. It's hard to tell.
Maybe he was so high he literally doesn't remember.
Or maybe he was just so high he didn't even hear. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I knocked hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do a little pussy knock. I full-blown Walter White. I am the one who knocks Caleb.
Oh my god.
I mean business.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of shitheads, did you hear about this girl Miranda Barber?
No.
They're calling her the real-life Dexter,
Really?
which pisses me off.
She not at all like Dexter?
No, she says she only kills bad people, but she lures these people on Craigslist, and there's no evidence that she kills bad people. It's just that she killed a bunch of people. And to make it worse, she claims it's people who diddle kids and who owe money.
Wow.
Which means everyone. I don't know
That is not cause for...
I don't know a single adult human being who doesn't owe a little bit of money to someone.
Yeah.
So,
It's part of being
her name's
adult.
Miranda Barber. Don't remember where she's from. I'm going to assume Florida. Because that's where all the bad stuff happens. Everything that happens there is
We're all
freaking
shit
weird.
goes down.
Yeah. So, she's 19 years old.
Wow.
She started killing after she joined a cult when she was 14.
Dude, calls her hard.
And since then, she has killed between 22 and 100 people.
Okay, that's a little bit different than over 200.
I got...
Still pretty hardcore.
Yeah, 22 and 1... Sorry about that, I got it really excited. 22 and 100 people. She doesn't remember how many. She lost track after 22.
Wow.
And she has a favorite knife that she uses. And she puts a little notch on there.
Is she, like, really creepy? Like, are there interviews or pictures of her?
There's interviews, but I haven't seen any.
Okay. I want to see how creepy this bitch is.
She's really not. She looks normal.
That's even creepier.
Yeah. But, she got caught because she had a husband. She has a kid, too. 2 years old. Husband's 22. And they wanted to kill someone together.
Wait. So, she's 19, and she has a husband and a 2-year-old kid?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, anyway, so she, they wanted to kill someone together.
How
So,
romantic, you know?
Most
people for date night, they go see a movie, you know, they go out to dinner. No, let's go
Here's something
murder
else weird.
somebody.
She used to post on Craigslist that you could pay like $50 to like $400 to spend a night with her.
Right.
But the husband was okay with it because he's like, she's not a prostitute. She doesn't have sex with them. She just has conversations with them. It's just how she makes money, and it's how she finds the bad guys. and all this shit. So they find this guy, and he just got married like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And just like a normal 47-year-old dude, for some reason, not that normal.
Whoa.
Because he responded.
To a 19-year-old kid.
What? No. This is the guy. I switched people.
Okay, you switched. I said. Okay.
I was talking about the husband, and I said they found a guy.
All right. Okay. So how old's the husband then?
22.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
I thought the husband. Okay.
They find a guy.
We're on the same page.
They find a guy who got married like 2 years ago.
Right.
But for some reason was answering this Craigslist ad. They're not even sure he answered it. That's just the story they're giving. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to kill him together. So they stabbed him 20 times, and he was still alive when they were looking for a place to bury him.
After stabbing him 20 times.
Yeah, but they got sloppy, and that's how they got caught. Mm-hmm. And the her lawyer wanted her to... told her to plead guilty.
Plead insanity?
Plead not guilty.
Oh.
Not guilty. And she did. But then she came out and confessed everything and said that she would help the police look for the things and that she shouldn't be let out because she'll do it again.
At least she's honest.
But she doesn't want to... she's trying to fight against the death penalty because it's cruel and unusual punishment. So it's okay for her to kill bad people, as she claims, but for
the United
people
States
to legally kill her
legally.
for being a bad person. She can't. So she told him...
That's cruel and unusual.
Yeah, so she said she didn't want to plead not guilty. But I don't like that they're calling her real life Dexter.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Dexter's way more handsome.
He actually kills bad people. He kills people who are serial killers or serial rapists who got out of jail.
Who may or may
should
not
be
money,
there,
but we don't really give a shit.
Or who just walked free.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of thing. But God, I do think it's kind of interesting though that once the guy stepped in, that's when they get caught.
Yeah.
But they wanted to do it together.
That's sweet, you know.
It's romantic, isn't it?
Appreciate that. Yeah.
You know what else is romantic?
Sexy news.
How'd you like that new intro, Caleb?
That was pretty hot.
Yeah, I made it today.
Nice.
Isn't it awesome?
It was pretty tight.
Well, for this issue of this edition of Sexy News, we got two stories because neither of them are that good.
All right.
They're not long enough, but they're things that I have to tell you. So, for the first one, I'm going to do... It says... Harnam Kaur... I don't know how to say her last name. Bearded lady feels sexier with hair.
Why?
It's this girl from somewhere. She's Middle Eastern. That's all I know. But since she was 11, she started growing facial hair. And she got bullied badly, as she says, and she's 23 now, and she even contemplated suicide during those rough teen years. And so she finally decided she feels more feminine and more sexy with the beard.
Why? Literally nobody else feels that way. How can you possibly feel more feminine with a full-on beard? You guys should see it. It is a full-on beard.
I thought about it, Caleb. I thought about it, and I think it's because of this. Having facial hair isn't that not feminine. Because everybody does. You just can't see it on most women. Because it's so thin and short. But when she shaves her face like a man, that's what makes her feel like a man.
So you just gotta leave it there. You gotta embrace it. And that's feminine.
Yeah, that's fine. Just...
You hear that, ladies? Just embrace it. Just let it go.
So I think
you're
it's
more sexy that way.
See, I'm thinking it's the act of shaving her face that made her feel like she wasn't feminine.
Right.
Not the actual beard.
Right.
It's a nice beard.
Yeah.
Looks like JonTron. Doesn't she?
Yeah.
But hey, I say
it's pretty gross.
I say good for her. After I've been pretty pissed off about that kid at the at work. You know, good for her.
Whatever works for you.
I know she probably doesn't lie to people about where they've been.
Now, does she have like a sweetheart who's like, oh man, yeah, I love the beard?
I don't know. Let's see.
She have a boyfriend?
Oh, she's a Sikh. That's why she wears the turban.
Gotcha.
It's a religion.
She says she feels more sexy. I mean, maybe...
Yeah, whatever, you know?
Maybe there's men in her area who feel the same way.
She's having trouble getting dudes.
Oh,
that's what it says.
Who couldn't... I wouldn't even have guessed that.
Other than that, she's really not that bad. She got nice eyes. I mean, the beard...
She looks like a man in that picture, like, straight up.
It's a goddamn nice beard. Anyway, Caleb, we got another one.
All right, let's go.
Did you have something else to add to the bearded lady?
I was like, who would possibly imagine she would have trouble with the guys, you know? Anyway, moving on.
Now we've got this one. Wife calls 911 because husband wants her to hook up with his sisters.
I mean, is that illegal? It's definitely creepy.
Yeah. It says, sometimes you don't want the family to come together.
Oh my god! Oh, that wordplay, too strong.
Huffington Post, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
it says,
great.
A 58-year-old woman in Chesney, South Carolina, called 911 because her 72-year-old husband wanted her to, quote, hook up with his sisters.
Is that how she phrased it in her 911 call?
I guess.
Yeah, alright.
And it says the woman whose name has been redacted,
Oh, no
rightfully
shit.
so,
Yeah.
told deputies that she and her husband had some sex problems, but she not only does not want to hook up with her sisters-in-law, she wants them to be prohibited from coming to her house. Also, Caleb, same area in September, someone assaulted his girlfriend during a three-way with the woman and her cousin. And then,
Lord.
last week, in the same area,
This is a fucked up area.
a woman allegedly was having anal sex. We got sodomy in the show now, Caleb.
Alright.
We've hit a whole new level.
We're getting into the crazy shit.
Yeah. She was having anal sex with her lover when the man's wife barged in. Now guess who got attacked by who?
I mean, you would assume that the wife attacked the lady, so I'm gonna guess something totally bizarre. Did the husband attack the wife?
Nope. The mistress attacked the wife.
Alright, that makes sense to me. What? I mean, that's not the most bizarre thing.
It's kind of weird, man.
Nah, I mean, yeah, but...
She's the one who's doing something wrong.
Yeah, but
she attacked the wife, like she did the cheating. The one that was legally bound
you're supposed
to
to
the
be at
man.
work. Why the fuck are you here?
Like the man and that woman are like legally together.
Right.
And she attacked the wife.
Could you imagine if the husband attacked the wife? That'd be bizarre.
I don't know, and I'm not sure who was giving it to who either. Like the article didn't say.
You're right. It did not specify.
We could have had a little bit of
I mean, you can assume, but there's really no way for us to know for sure.
A little bit of pegging action, so that's why she attacked the wife, because she didn't want it to get out that she puts a fake dingling on.
Oh my god.
And plows dudes.
Married
fake. Dudes.
Maybe he wasn't fake.
But it didn't say. I can't imagine what would motivate the mistress to attack the wife. Other than... Oh, and then again, we're not talking about a situation here that's full of good decisions.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but, it happened, and that is it for this week's installment of Sexy News. Anyway, you got anything else to say, Caleb?
Nah, man, I don't got shit.
You got homework, don't you?
I got a shit ton of homework this week. It's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta put this thing online.
Yeah.
We're getting meta right here, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see you guys next week. I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
And we are Two Geeks.
Too Furious.